Brilliance Audio presents Postcards from a Stranger by Imogen Clark, performed by Henrietta Meir. I can't do this anymore. I shout it down the phone. I don't mean to shout. It's just how my voice comes out. I need some help, I say more quietly. I put my hand over the mouthpiece to muffle my voice. Dad, I plead, stop making that racket. Dad looks at me, his eyes mildly curious, but he does not stop. The crack of metal spoon on wooden table continues to pummel my delicate nerve endings. I remember the advice that I got from the specialist care team and take another deep breath. Please, I add with the best smile I can muster. I remove my hand and continue the conversation with my brother. Can you hear that? I ask, even though most of the country must be able to hear it. That sound is our father banging a spoon on the table. He's been doing it for the last hour and a half. He won't stop, and he won't give me the spoon. Honestly, Michael, I'm not sure I can cope for much longer. I can feel the tears pooling behind my eyelids, but I don't want Dad to see that I'm upset. So I press my lips together tightly and take a deep breath through my nose. Just stay there, Dad, I say as calmly as I can. I'm talking to Michael. I'll be back in a minute. I scan the room for stray knives or anything else that Dad might be able to harm himself with. Then I gently tap the top of his greasy head and go out into the hall, leaving the door slightly ajar. The banging continues. I can see it's difficult for you, Cara, Michael says, from the safety of his office hundreds of miles away. I would help more if I could, but you know how it is. His voice trails off, but I can't detect anything in his tone that's even close to guilt. I know, I snap back, and I'm not asking you to help with the day-to-day stuff, but I can't carry on by myself. I'm out of my depth here, Michael. He keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes I get so angry with him that I'm worried I might... I stop before voicing what I might do, and let it hang menacingly in the air between us. Michael doesn't reply. We need a nurse, I continue. Someone who's trained to look after people like Dad. They don't need to live in, well, not yet. But I need someone here during the day so that I can work and do the shopping and, well, go to the loo without worrying what he'll get up to when I'm away. Dad can afford to pay. There's no point him just sitting on our inheritance. I'd rather we find some care for him. Some proper care. There is no sound on the other end, and I wonder if the line's been cut. Michael, are you still there? Yes. His voice sounds distant. Okay, he says eventually. You know best. If you really can't cope and a nurse is the only solution, then go ahead. How will you go about finding one? He asks. There's an agency in town, I say. It comes highly recommended. I don't add that the recommendations were made on Twitter and made by someone I don't know from Adam. I can do the research now that I have Michael's say-so. I'll give them a ring and set up a meeting, I say. I can hear muffled talking at Michael's end. He isn't on his own anymore, and I know that I've had the best of his attention. I have to go, he says in his unfamiliar telephone voice. You go ahead and fix that up and let me know how you get on. He might have been talking to some stuffed shirt client about a takeover, rather than his sister about his seriously ill father. I'm about to put the phone down on him, when I hear him whisper, Keep going, Car. You're doing a great job. The line goes dead. I stand in the hall and breathe deeply, trying to get my thoughts to line up neatly, despite the noise coming from the kitchen. Dad has stopped banging now. He is singing something. I listen harder, and it is the first line of a hymn that I learned at school. Oh, when the saints go marching in. His voice is clear, as if the tangles in his brain have smoothed themselves out for long enough to let him remember how to carry a tune. The words, however, are beyond him. Cara! He shouts. Cara! I try singing the hymn from the beginning myself to see if I can help, but I can only get as far as Dad got before my mind goes blank. It can be hereditary, you know, Alzheimer's. God knows who will be there to look after me.